Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about all the changes made to Blox fruits over the years. Um, this isn't going to be like, little things like, level changes and all that. It's going to, I'll go more in depth, but these are going to be like big things that change. Not like only from the like devs, but like from the community too. The first thing we're going to talk about is bounties. Bounties actually like, when you look, you could see like, okay, you could see some hackers like 3 billion, 3 billion, but the max, if you're not like a cheater or a dev or whatever, is 30 million. But back then, the max bounty was only 20. This wasn't that long ago. This isn't like a huge change, but the max was 20 million. As soon as you hit 20 million, you became an emperor. You had an emperor title. It would say that. 15 mil, you get like God of the Sea, or was that? I think that was 12.5. Whatever. It used to be 20 million. 20 million was the max. It didn't go any higher. Now it's 30 mil. You don't get any rewards pretty much for hitting 30 mil. I don't think. I looked it up. Yeah, there you kind of like you get like you get the bounty buffs, but you don't get any like real titles or anything, which is kind of a shame. This never changed. I saw someone in chat. Buddha, please, people. They always beg for fruits. That's never going away. Another thing that changed was the fruits. As you can see, this guy's kind of holding a fruit. If you look, they kind of have like a little face. I actually have a better idea. They have like this little face. There's a bunch of items you never use. Or the fruits. Here you go. They have like these little faces, and I like them. They're cute and everything. You got like ghost fruit and dark fruit. I think they changed this twice because before they kind of changed some of them. Like, they would be, like, a little animated, but before, the fruits were, like, nothing. Like, the dragon fruit was the coolest fruit, like, back when it was the best. It was just, like, a block of flame. Dark fruit was just, like, I couldn't find a picture, but the dark fruit was just, like, a black box. Like, it was nothing. There was, like, little squiggles. There was no design. Like, it was pretty lame. I kind of miss them, though. Like, someone would have a stem. What is this guy looking at me? But it would just be like boxes, like a cardboard box would be your fruit, and they would just be different colors. Like, that's all it was. They didn't have like the unique facial expressions or anything. The next thing we're going to talk about is the Blox fruit gacha. This guy is he's just a simple guy, but he used to be called Blox fruit's cousin. But before, when I was playing the game like a long time ago, I've played this game for a while. I'm not going to buy a fruit because that's a lot of money, but the Blox fruit's gacha never existed. Like, beginners can get OP fruits right away, but back then, you'd have to just hope this guy had it, or you would find a fruit. Everyone would find fruits. This changed. No one looks for fruits anymore, which kind of sucks, but, there's no real point unless you buy the fruit tracker, but at the same time, Blox fruit gacha exists, so there's no point. You just have to hope the fruit you wanted was in here, but now you have the gacha. But the gacha, Blox fruit's cousin, whatever, you rarely get anything like in progress. What does that mean, in progress? What does that mean? I have no idea what that means. But you would you would have to hope that your fruit was here and that was it. And like, speaking of another change was for a long time, bomb and chop. That was it. Bomb and chop, always free for years. And then they changed it to kilo, and now this. I kind of miss when bomb was the best fruit. It makes me feel old. I remember there was an old meme. It was like, bomb is best fruit, bomb is best fruit. But now, when you say that, no one understands what you're talking about. And that's kind of sad. The whole Blox fruits culture kind of changed. And speaking of, like, Blox fruits culture, PvP took a huge change. Like, a huge change. When you fight someone, or at least when I fight someone, the old style, it was always in the sky. It was always in the sky. You would always fight in the sky. When you're going around, you're fighting, you would just spam and you would jump around the sky. Now there's like this term, sky camper. When you go around, if you're trying to fight someone and you jump, they would call you sky camper. Like, even if you jump like once, they call you sky camper. Back then, this was all you would do. People would get like mad if you went on the ground and it like completely flip-flops. Like, I remember you would just jump around and you would barely hit the ground. The only time you hit the ground is when you do your 10 jumps and you couldn't you would just do like this, you do your moves to get up, and like you would try to preserve jumps, and then you would only go to the ground to get your jumps back. That's it. That completely changed, and that's like shocking because I went away from the game for a while. When I came back, I remember it was some guy tried to attack me, so I jumped in the air and started attacking. People were like, sky camper, why? I had no idea what that meant. Like, I don't know, like I figured out like like what happened? Like now people just stay on the ground and then they do here, and if you go in the air, it's like bad. Like that's a shock. Like that was like that's a huge change. PvP changed like forever. The ground fighting is so like, look at this guy. He would be back then. We would be jumping in the air. I'm gonna fight this guy real quick. Watch, he's gonna stay on the ground the whole entire time. What am I doing? It's been a while since I actually fought. Okay. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. This loser just decided to attack me. The next thing we're gonna talk about is C3. Now, this isn't also, it's not like a very huge change, but back then, that guy, there's a guy over there, you know I'm talking about, ship guy. He would not be there. There was no C3. Everyone would fight here. This is so much better. The game was a lot better. Oh my god. 1 second. Okay, I just server hopped because that guy kept finding bait. What I was going to say is... Okay, what I was going to say is... This was the main area. The castle in C3... No offense. It sucks compared to what this used to be. This was like... This place is huge. Everything would go on here. As soon as you went to second C, like even if it was your first time or anything, this was the area. Dressrosa, it's huge. Like fights would be everywhere. Like unless you were grinding, there was like or raids or whatever. This area was always empty. Like, and maybe Ice Castle because that's where high levels are. It would be chaos here. It would just be chaos. Now there's the portals in C3. You gotta jump around. It kind of ruined, like PvP was way more fun when this was the area. Like sometimes like you don't get fights here anymore. Like you'll have a fight here, but there's no wars. And that's the next change we're going to talk about, wars. Crews were important back then. Like crews actually had a meaning. Now because the islands are all split up, it kind of ruined the purpose. Back when all the fights were here, people would make crews just to defend themselves here, and everyone would attack. Like, just attack each other. Like, there would be a thing over there, there would be an attack over there, there would be people over there, and there would be crew wars, and crews would be fighting, or just like, it was crazy, it was fun. If you were max level, just bashing out with all these different fruits, you didn't even know, like, if you were, like, gaining or losing bounty, you just attacked, and there were no, like, real meta, like, there were always metas, like, that's never gonna change, but loadouts, like, now they're just like portal, and they're just, I use leopard just because like I kind of like, there's always like people just complaining about skill now, but no fruit really. I mean, of course some things take skill, but I kind of stopped bounty hunting once I hit 20 mil, and then they changed the level cap, and then I just use this to defend myself because I don't feel like really PvPing anymore. But people like had all these different things, and it was cool. There'd be waves, there would be dragons, there would be all this crap. And it was a lot of fun. But now with C3, it's just, you go through the portals, and it's just like a one-on-one, and then it's not as fun anymore. Huge change. Like, it's as empty. No matter what server you went into back then, there will always be some giant battle, and people yelling toxic, and that's another change we're going to talk about. And that change is the toxicity. I don't know what they did, but people used to be so much more toxic back then. People are so toxic now. But back then, before C3, we call it pre-C3 era, people were just so toxic. Like, people would just attack you, and they, like, it was constant. It was actually, like, pirates. Like, people were just constantly attacking you, like, and then they would, like, there was always, like, crap talking and all that. Like, people were so much more toxic. Now people are nice, like, and everything, like, people will be kind. Like back then, like you would rarely find someone nice. It was always just like constant like attack. Another thing they changed was the need for swan glasses. Swan glasses was insane back then. I still use them. They're still really good. Pretty much I can't see it there anymore. It's another change. They got rid of it there. It's always equipped basically. But swan glasses were huge. People would like die for swan glasses. You get an expensive fruit to this guy when fruits were a lot harder to get without the the Blox fruits gotcha. Everyone wanted swan glasses and dark cape. That was it. Like those were the only two really good items. Dark cape was 2 hours, practically impossible to find, and swan glasses. Now there's like Katakuri's cape and everything, but swan glasses, that was it. Everyone wanted swan glasses, but with all the new items added, swan glasses, like it's not. No one really fiends for anymore. Back then, it was just swan glasses. That was it. Like, and dark cape, of course, but swan glasses. Everyone was begging for swan glasses. Like, give me a fruit, I need swan glass, I need swan glass. People would beg. Another huge change they made was the hockey. Back then, I mean, it's still like this if you don't get the colors, but back then, this glitch wasn't here with the face. I don't know why they haven't fixed that. Your face, like, kind of lights up, and it's kind of annoying. But back then, people's hockey, there was never an outline. When you first get it, there's no outline, but back then, it was always just lame. You put it on, no outline, no colors. And people, when it came out, called it Advanced Armament Hockey, and people were hype about it, but it never actually added an advantage, which kind of sucks, because you go for the guy, and all you get is, like, a color. Pretty disappointing, but, yeah, that was huge back then. Everyone thought it was Advanced Armament Hockey, but it was just a color. And, yeah, kind of still upset about that. But, yeah. Another huge change they made that honestly wasn't that recent ago, I'm just going to talk about it real quick, was the kind of the graphic style. Back then, there were no, like, real colors on your swords. The attacks were super lame. The graphics were terrible. Like, look how cool this is now. Like, that used to just be, like literally, it used to be literally nothing. Like, the attacks were just, like, they were not cool at all. But they changed almost everything. They didn't change that. But that's, like, kind of an example of what it used to look like. Just lame. Not over the top or anything like that. Kind of like this. They didn't really change God Human for some reason. They didn't revamp it. It's because it's still new. But back then, every attack was just, if I launched this, like, just a lame attack like that. But now, like, almost everything has this sick, like, animation. The star, and they did a really good job. That, like, is awesome. But back then, the graphics were worse for pretty much everything. And this wasn't too long of a change, but it's just how it was. Another thing Blox changed that, like, is actually really sad to me. It's probably, like, it's not really a change, and I kind of get it because of copyright, but they really stopped adding things related to One Piece. Like, they're trying to separate from One Piece. No one really talks about that, but it is upsetting to me. They added their own, like, storylines. Like, they add themselves to the game now and everything. But they kind of, like, they're straying away from One Piece, and, like, it kind of, like, it made me stop, like, hype for the updates. When I see something like, oh, it's this and this, like, once they added C3, like, they don't really add islands. Like, C3 they added some, but they don't really add islands related to One Piece anymore. The fruits they add are not related to One Piece at all. The characters they add aren't related to One Piece. There's a thing that everyone called Usopp Island. I'm pretty sure it just is called Usopp Island, but over there, it's pretty far away. There's Usopp Island where you could find Usopp. Over there, there's, you know, Poneglyph Island, Poneglyphs. And there's Green from the Green, you know, whatever, Green Bay or whatever from the show. And Punk Hazard from the show. That isn't from the show, but, you know, they have to add something that isn't from the show. But this is Dressrosa. They really, like, in C1 you can see a lot of it, but they really don't add things related to One Piece. They didn't really do it in CT either when they added C2, but, like, they never really had, like, complete islands. But you can see, like, in C1 they had, like, oh my gosh, I'm going back in the safe zone. C1 they had, like, the Marine Island, like they really had it, like, related. You can see the Marines were based off, like, the Marine buildings for One Piece. Everything was, like, admirals, like, bosses were like that, but they added, like, whole cake to C3. That was good, but they don't add fruits. Like, they're, like, straying away. Like, it's always had Blox fruits in it, but they're kind of straying away from One Piece. That fruits, they had a rocket. It's not in, like, One Piece. Spin is. Spring is. Like, Spring is always in it. But, like, the new fruits, like, Kitsune in it, but, like, some of these fruits, like, it used to just be purely One Piece. And, okay, well, most of the fruits are in One Piece. These are Portal now. But, like, sounds, like, that's a Poo, but they don't make it related to One Piece anymore. Spider, I get it, because they just changed it. Buddha, yeah. They don't, like, Ghost isn't really, like, I get, like, Brooks fruit, but it's not, they, like, used to have more, it used to be more connected with, like, One Piece. Like, that you could find One Piece NPCs, like, in a lot of places. Like, One Piece NPCs are everywhere. Mixed with Blox fruit was good, but now it's kind of going, like, just strictly Blox fruits. Like, no real connection. What is this guy doing? Hello? What are you doing? Is he what? Get away from me. But the last and final change we're going to talk about is the meta for builds. Back then, it was Shisui. TTK was insane. TTK is what everyone wanted to get. Now everyone calls TTK bad. And it's really disappointing. True Triple Katana was sick back in the day. It was like Zoro styles. This. And it was lacking Yoru. Mihawk's sword, Yoru. But why is this guy obsessed with me? Back off. I'm only kidding. But yeah, it used to be that, and fruits changed drastically. No, the only fruits I really see people use anymore, you barely see them in Kitsune because it's rare. Leopard, Shadow, I guess, but the fruits completely changed. Like, whatever fruits you see now was different back then. Back then, the meta was, let's see if we can find it, Flame, Awakened Flame, Ice, Dark. Dark was, before Dragon came out, like, long, like, this is, like, ancient times. Before Dragon came out, Dark. This was the best fruit in the game. The last time I've seen someone use Dark was, like, 30 years ago. Light was never kind of meta. It was just for grinding. Rubber, people try to make rubber in the meta, but it was never added. Magma, Quake. Quake was huge. You still see people using Quake, but back then it was Dark Quake, and then when Dragon was added, Dragon Buddha before it was Awakened, never. And oh wait, one that's never, like, this one sometimes, but you had to be in like a team. But when crews were important, Phoenix was important, but now not really. Now you see Portal, and before Rama got its Awakening, no one used it. Pain. When it was called Paw, this was huge for swordsmen. Like, Paw was huge. This was a huge one. That was like second best. But then they added Dragon. Dragon was super fun. If you had Dragon, you just dominated. So before Dragon, Control was actually the best fruit. Like, this was the rarest fruit, which is good Control. And then I think before Control, I forgot. I think it was just Dough. But now people use Dough. People used to like really never use Dough unless it was for grinding. But yeah, that was really it. The whole meta completely changed. Now everyone just uses Portal and whatever they use. I don't really PvP a lot anymore. But you never see the way people used to fight. Some people use Chop. People would use every fruit. But now it's only like the select few and Dough, and it's not as fun. Like, those aren't as fun fruits. It's just spammy. Like, seeing Quake, like the ones with all the AO, like, it used to be fun with the clan wars and everything. But they kind of changed that. It's not really them that changed it. It's just what kind of happened. Community changed it. But it's pretty much, there's a lot more things I could talk about, but those were like the biggest ones from back when I used to play. So if you have anything else you want to share, put in the comments. But thank you for watching. Goodbye.